Joining us on our Book Talk segment, great to welcome a woman who's written a very interesting book, something we all kind of deal with, I guess, at least partially in our lives, some more than others. And the title is called Everyday Narcissism, Narcissism, I should say, Yours, Mine, and Ours. We're joined today by Nancy Van Dyken. She's a licensed psychologist and a licensed independent clinical social worker. She's based out of Minneapolis, and she joined us by telephone today. And Nancy, good to talk with you. How are you?
Good to talk to you, Doug. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, had a chance to read through the book and just also through the notes. I guess this is one of the first books, if not the first book, to kind of touch on the topic you write about, which is like something we all kind of deal with, narcissism in our lives, how it can affect it negatively and how we can get rid of it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
What drew you to this topic?
Well, I've been a therapist for 34 years, and part of the way I do therapy is I look for patterns people get into. And over the years, I started seeing the patterns that I write about and just put them together because they were such common struggles that people were having. And as a clinician, I always give homework, and so to help people heal, because I don't think listening is enough.
Right.
And so that's how the book came about.
Yeah, the word narcissism is something we all like self-importance, maybe to the extreme, and I guess you need a little bit of that in your life. But when it gets out of control, that's when problems start, right?
Some people have suggested it's good to have a little bit of narcissism. I disagree with that because narcissism comes from wounding, places and times when we've been hurt, responsibilities such as. Myth one in the book is I have the responsibility and the power to control how you feel and behave. So when a 5-year-old has just been hurt by her grandmother, and her mother tells her, now go give Grandma a kiss goodbye because she's leaving. And the 5-year-old says, I don't want to. I'm mad at Grandma. And the mother says, now go give her a kiss goodbye or she'll feel bad. She'll be hurt. So now the child is 5 and has been instructed by her mother to take care of Grandma's feelings. It doesn't matter how the child is feeling. It doesn't matter. Myth 3 is your needs are more important than mine. So the child learns that her needs don't count, just Grandma's. Oh, and also Mother's, because if I don't do what Mother wants, then she's going to get angry. So I have to control her temper by doing that. Now remember, I'm only 5. I've also learned that if Mom gets upset with me, Dad's going to get upset because he doesn't want to deal with Mother's anger.
Right.
So the child is 5 and has to take care of these 3 adults or she won't be loved. People will be angry and upset with her. Since our basic drive in life is to belong, to fit in, and to be liked, a child will do anything to get that love and attention, even if it means not counting herself.
Yeah, a lot of it based on guilt, but you're trying to control other people's happiness. That causes a lot of problems. You're right.
Well, it's a major problem in marriages and many parent-child relationships and some work relationships, because myth 2 is, well, if I'm busy making sure you're happy, then by George, you're supposed to make sure I'm happy. That's your job. And if you don't make me happy, I'm going to let you know what you're doing wrong, and I'm not going to be happy about it. So we've learned not to take responsibility for our happiness. We have to take care of everybody else, and then we expect them to take care of us. Major issue in marriages, relationships of all kinds. Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, how do you combat that?
That's what I try to write about. Number one, you have to understand that the 5 myths that we're taught, they are lies. They're not true. But our parents learned them from their parents, and their parents learned it from their parents. So none of us have intentionally done things to harm our children. We're all trying to be the best parent we can, but we're passing on what we've been taught. And it's harmful. It's harming people. I had a young man came in this morning, and he's just learning about the book now. He has tremendous anxiety because it's hard to try and please everybody all the time and to control the world.
Sure.
So he said, my boss wrote me an email and told me he was disappointed I didn't go to some event. I'd already told him I wasn't going to go, but he wrote and said I was disappointed. Now, my father told me my whole life I was a disappointment to him. When you tell a child that I'm disappointed, you're holding the child responsible for your happiness. And most children, when they hear the words, I'm disappointed in you, they're devastated because all they want is love and adoration. And they're disappointed in who I am. And I call that a hazy trauma. It's not like getting a bruise from being hit or being sexually abused, which we know is wrong. In fact, it's against the law. But all these little cuts where I don't count, how I feel doesn't matter. Those are like paper cuts. And most all of us have had a paper cut, and they're terribly painful. Mm-hmm. And you get one paper cut after another, and you end up with a very large wound that our partners, our coworkers, our kids trigger. So the book is about homework on how to heal the wounding that occurs to us. And it has very specific instructions in it. But we first must understand that it's a lie. We do not have the power to control other people's feelings or behaviors.
In a sense, you almost have to, now I wouldn't say be selfish, but think about yourself first, right, to get over that kind of thought. I mean, put yourself ahead of that, say, I'm not trying to denigrate somebody else, but I got to take care of myself at this point.
Exactly. But we've been told, women in particular have told, that good mothers never do that. Mm-hmm. Some people have learned from their religion that good religious people don't do that. But if I don't take care of my broken leg, I can't help you with yours.
Right.
And so true caring always includes self. If I only put you first, I'm trying to manipulate your impression of me. Isn't he a nice guy? He's so cooperative. He's so helpful. And if I say, no, that won't work for me, the fear is you will see me as uncooperative, unlikable, not a team member, selfish, and it isn't selfish. So a common issue many of my clients have, and it might take them 9 months to say these words, no, that won't work for me.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. People are terrified to say that. So they say yes, and then later they go, why did I agree to that? I'm already buried in so much work, or why did I agree to that? I don't want to help somebody move. I'm 57 years old. So we can learn to say, if a coworker comes and asks for our assistance, we can say, Sue, that won't work for me. I'm buried in my own work. However, if I get my work done today, I'm happy to stop over and see if there's anything that I can help you with them.
Yeah,
Terrifies people.
No is a powerful word and should be used more, I think.
Well, myth 4 is there are social rules that are more important than me. And one of the social rules is you're supposed to always say yes. And since we're so afraid of rejection, we say yes oftentimes at our own expense. So you're right. I don't call it selfish. I call it caring for self.
Right. Do you find it's any worse nowadays, this, EN as you call it, everyday narcissism, because people are so wrapped up in, internet and social media and, being on their phone all the time? Is it any worse, or has it always been like this, narcissism?
Well, I think the problem, that is a problem. I went out to eat the other night with a friend, and there was a large booth that held 6 people. There were 5 family members in it, and every family member had some electronics except Mom. Nobody was talking to each other. Nobody was discussing their day or current events or a book. They're just into social media. So the problem with the iPhone and the iPads and that sort of thing is we have not established any cultural expectations about what do we do to be caring towards other people. So it's troubling to me when I go out to eat with a friend and the friend answers the phone, even though I'm right there taking that time to meet with you. And I have to be careful not to be guilty of that myself. The phone, we're so used to going, got to answer the phone.
Oh, sure.
No, you do not have to be a slave to the phone.
No,
we didn't use, but we don't have any social rules about phone etiquette today. When I was a kid, you didn't call during the dinner hour,
right,
and you didn't call after 9 o'clock. Today, you can text at 3 in the morning. You can call at 3 in the morning. There's no rules to kind of say, how are we going to have these instruments, which are wonderful, but remain caring and in kindness and communication with others?
My mom had that rule, no calls at dinner and the 9 o'clock rule. So we had the same parents.
Yep.
It was a good rule.
It was a good rule. It was a good rule, yep.
Well, it's a fascinating book, and it's called Everyday Narcissism, Yours, Mine, and Ours, and Nancy Van Dyken is the author, and great information and helpful things in the book, so we do recommend it here at the Book Talk segment. And Nancy, do you have a website you can direct people to? People can get more information about you in the book?
Sure. They can go to nancyvandyken.com or healingrelationships.com. And if they Google just the name of the book, there will be quite a few sites that will come up. Amazon, of course, has it, but they also have it in Kindle and in Audible. I'm not sure if Barnes & Noble and some of the other sites do have it in those formats.
Well, Nancy, pleasure talking to you. Appreciate it, and hopefully we can talk to you down the road.
Okay, that'd be wonderful. Thanks so much, Doug.
I'm Stan Brock. 30 years ago, I formed Remote Area Medical to help people overseas. But then we found generations of families in America isolated by poverty from the health care they need. Together, we can take dental, vision, and medical help to 1 million adults and their kids, right here at home in the United States of America.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or DougMilesMedia.com.